Hey, LG, man. What's up? Always get first, man. Like I said, I don't know how you do it, brother. How you doing? How you doing, man? Yo, let me know if my mic sounds good because I know the last couple live streams I did, even though that's been like 3 months ago, and it's been a long time since I've been back on here. Let me know if my mic sounds a little staticky or if it sounds like it's clipping or something. Hey, LG, no problem at all, man. No problem at all, man. We'll get back to it. We'll get back on track, man. That's exactly what we're gonna do. So you already know. Let a couple people get in here. All right, good. Mike sounds good. Okay, great. Gonna let it get a couple people get in here. Maybe wait a minute or two. Everybody that's in the building so far, please hit the like button for me. Let's get those likes up. Hey, peace to you, Bryant. Peace, fam. Please hit the like button for me. Everybody that's in the building. I want to know exactly. Oh yeah, thank you, LG. I mean, I'ma just lay the information down as best as I can. So you said I relaxed, did my own thing, and suddenly I ended up with 2 jobs in 1 month. I mean, that's how it goes, man. I mean, a lot of times when you're really just worrying about things, it's kind of like you think about it, it's kind of like when you're trying to remember something, right? And you're spending this whole time like really racking your brain trying to remember what it is that you're trying to remember. And then once you just say, you know what, I'm just not going to worry about it, it often comes to you, right? So everybody in the building, please hit that like button. I'm gonna give another minute before I just vibe out with you guys. This is especially for questions. I know, again, it's been a long time. It's been, I don't know, like 3 or 4 months since the last time I did a video. So I thought I would get on here, guys, and answer any questions that you have concerning the occult, concerning spirituality, concerning I know what was it, the last, how was everybody's fall equinox time? What's coming up for 2021? Okay, there's a lot of energy that's coming up for 2021. Like, because here's the thing, 2020 was kind of stagnant for everybody in the whole entire world. All right. And that means there's kind of preparation for the next year. All right. I hope you guys are catching this stuff. I know I haven't been on here to really convey the information, but I hope you guys are really catching what's going on. That's very important. So much that you could be taking advantage of right now. All right. So much. So, like I said, I want to give another minute. Shout out to everybody coming in the live stream right now, right? For coming into this realm to get this knowledge. Like I said, please hit that like button. Shout out to you, Phoenix. Thank you for coming into the live stream. Everybody hit that like button for me. Maddie Champ, what's up, my brother? Yeah, I know it's been a while. So I was like, I gotta get back on YouTube again. And my first introduction back here, I want to vibe out with the people, man. That's all. I want to vibe out with the people. Taking one note out for you, brother. Thank you, LG. While we're waiting, like I said, I'm gonna give another minute for more people to get in. Let me know where you guys are coming from. Put in the chat room where you guys are tapping in from. If you're new to this channel, I'm tapping in from Philadelphia, PA, the USA. Because I know I get a lot of people from around the world. So I'm in the US, Philadelphia, PA area. Where you guys tapping in from? Let me know in the chat before we get to this conversation. Okay? Before we get to this conversation, and we could talk about some real deep information. I mean, I got a couple things I want to go over as well, so we can get into it. Where you guys tapping in from? London. Shout out to London. Okay. Shout out to Bhutan. Shout out to Cali, SeaWorld City. Big love, big love. Thank you guys for taking the time out to from wherever you're at in the world, time out to tap in with me, to tap into this frequency is very important. Shout out to Denver, SKJ. What's up, my brother? Okay. Yeah, so I guess one thing I should talk about, like I said, if you guys have questions, I'm paying attention to the chat. Okay. I don't know why messages being restricted. YouTube is weird. Okay. But until you guys come up with some questions, there's a couple things I did want to tap into. First of all, let's talk about the fall equinox that passed. Hopefully you guys have been following my advice with these equinoxes, with these 4 portals. As you may know, if you're new to this channel, the equinoxes and the solstices are 4 portals that you can tap into. Okay. Now, what I mean by tapping into is energy wise. I'm not saying like you're literally going to walk through a portal again. This is just for, if there's anybody new tapping in. But we're talking energy wise. Everything is run by energy. Shout out to North Carolina. Everything is run by energy. And there's a reason why every secret society and every important individual on this planet pays attention to these 4 time periods. We're talking about the solstices and the equinoxes. And anytime there's an energy portal, that means you have access to gaining so much more than you usually can without that portal being open. All right. I'm just trying to make it sound as simple as possible. Okay. So and now each one of these portals represent a certain type of energy. All right. So when you think about fall is about the gathering. It's about gratitude. Okay. It's about gratitude. It's about gathering. This is the real Thanksgiving. All of my students, the magic coaching students, you already know this. We go over this stuff. Okay. But for everybody else, again, every portal has a certain type of energy. So the fall equinox is the real Thanksgiving. Now, again, just to go over it, remember that the fall equinox starts September 20th to September 24th. It's not just a day, guys. And I know they like to tell you that the day changes or whatever like that. It's not just one day. Like, it's not just one day where you just celebrate and then it's over. It's an energy portal that stays open for a little while from September 24th. September 20th to September 24th. Okay. Now, the peak of this energy is September 22nd. All right. And then we're talking about the fall equinox. It's the same with the other fall, with the other equinox and the solstices. It starts on the 20th of that month and ends on the 24th of that month. And it always peaks on that number 22. Again, we got to understand numerology. I'm pretty sure that I don't have to go too deep into that, because if you're following this channel, then I'm pretty sure you're hip to numerology. I'm pretty sure you're understanding synchronicity. I'm pretty sure you understand that everything is energy. I'm pretty sure that you understand that everything is frequency. Okay. 22, the master number. Okay. So again, during this time period of the fall equinox, right? Because if you were paying attention to my other videos in the past about the spring equinox, the summer solstice, right? The winter solstice, okay? I taught you how to make portals, your own mini portal for each of those. If you haven't learned about that, if you haven't seen that from my other videos, please go watch my other videos on the spring equinox, the summer solstice, my last year's fall equinox, and the last winter solstice. Because I taught you how to make mini portals in those videos. Now, I don't think you understand how important that is. Okay? Like I said, nobody else on the internet, you let me know If there's anybody else on the internet that taught you how to make mini portals for the equinoxes and solstices, again, raw information that a lot of people don't want you to know because they only want access to that information. All right. What's up? What's up, C Diggs? Peace and love to everybody in the live stream right now. Just want to give a shout out to everybody tapping in wherever you're tapping in from. Much love. So now with the fall equinox, right? Here's the thing. I told you in the spring equinox video, this is the time to plant seeds. So what I'm talking about is goals and ambitions. So you would write down your goals and ambitions. You would place it on your mini portal that you created, right? Then when it comes to the fall equinox, even if you didn't see the fruits of your labor yet, you got to understand how growth works. Because a lot of you were emailing me like, hey, I planted the seed, the goal. I wrote down my goals during the spring equinox. And now it's the fall equinox, and I'm not seeing anything. You have to understand the law of gestation. All right. What does that mean? For example, when a woman gets pregnant, right? Does she just pop out the baby the next day? Or does she have to wait 9 months? You see? Or think about an apple tree. You plant an apple seed within the ground. Does the apple tree just the next day become a tree and starts dropping out apples? Or do you have to wait a certain time period? You see what I mean? We have to understand how growth works. And depending on what you're growing, right? If you're growing something really, really significant, the longer it's going to take and the more energy it is going to be to cultivate that. Okay. You're not going to see things, if you were saying, I wrote down that I want to be a millionaire during the spring equinox, and you think that's going to happen by the fall equinox, you're not putting two and two together. You see what I mean? All my students that did the dollar bill experiment knows what I mean. That yes, if it's something very little, it comes faster. But if it's something way bigger, it's gonna you got to judge it by the time period. Again, comparing a blade of grass to a tree. The blade of grass is it takes a lot less energy, so it's going to take a lot less time than the tree. Okay. But here's the thing that I want to let you guys know, that I let all my students know. Okay. Is that when you hit the fall equinox, just because your seeds have not grown yet, does not mean that you can't go everywhere else in the wilderness and catch the other seeds that have grown from nature. For example, let's say you actually have a physical garden in your backyard, right? Let's make this very simple. Let's say you have a physical garden in your backyard, right? You've been growing stuff, you've been growing tomatoes, you've been growing, cucumbers and stuff like that, right? And let's just say it just didn't work out. Like for some reason, those those plants and herbs that you were growing just weren't working out. It's something happened, for whatever reason it may happen. You might feel really upset, like, damn, my garden failed this year. But what you have to understand is that you have the whole world is your canvas. Just because your garden failed doesn't mean you can't go somewhere else and pick fruit. We have to pay attention to our surroundings. You have to get out of just your boxed, focused mind where you're only focusing on what's immediately in front of you. There's a whole entire world. Okay. You never know. You might know somebody else that's creating a garden, and you can connect with them and they might share some of that fruit with you. And again, we're talking metaphorically, right? Remember I've been said that people was the real currency. This is why they tell you your net worth is your net worth, or however they say it. But that's true facts. The more people that you're connected to, The more that you're aware of your surroundings, the more that you can gain. So this is why the fall equinox was that time period for you to tap in and be grateful. Gratitude is an important step of manifestation. You get more of what you're grateful for. That's the real Thanksgiving. The fall equinox, September 20th to September 24th was the real Thanksgiving. Not the timelines that they're telling you, right? On their timelines. These people don't know what they're doing. You don't follow what everybody else is doing. I've been said that you don't follow the masses. You understand that you have to be a part of this. You're not trying to separate from the masses, but you understand if everybody in the world, all the sheeple are going this way, you might want to veer off and go this way. If all the masses of people are saying one thing, you might want to reevaluate if you should believe in that or not. It's very, very simple. Again, if you know that the masses are being lied to, why would you follow their exact patterns? Why would you follow their exact knowledge? You see what I'm saying? So the fall equinox was a time period for you to gather all these resources that you're given. But you won't realize that if you're not even seeing it, if you're too depressed about your current situation. Your awareness is not, is not awakened yet. You're still only focused on your perception of reality, what you see in front of you. There's so many things that you could be grateful for at this moment. And there's so many things that even in 2020, how many people have said 2020 is the worst year that's happened to us, right? If you can't see what 2020 has given you, right, it might seem like it's been the worst year, but I'm telling you right now, these occultist people, a lot of spiritual people that are really doing this work, 2020 has been the best year for them. How come it hasn't been the best year for you? Anytime there's opposition, anytime there's some kind of huge opposition going on in the universe, that's an indication that there's a ton of energy that you can take advantage of. All right. So I'm gonna tap in with some of your comments. I just wanted to put that out there that the fall equinox was a time for you to gather resources. It doesn't have to be just the resources you've gained, from resources all around you. Because during this time period, so many things were given to you. So many fruits were available to you if you took advantage of it, if you were open enough. That's the main problem with a lot of people, is you're not open. You're too closed off because you're too scared of all the possibilities and things that could happen to you. Okay. So let's get into. All right. So is there a difference between portals or dimensions, or is it just a different term and the same idea? Well, LG, a dimension is a whole nother space, right? And a portal is like a door to another space. So it's not the same thing, but they're connected. So for example, you look behind me, right? That's a door, right? Outside of that door is a whole nother room and stairs. So pretend that the whole nother room and stairs outside of this door is another dimension. Now the actual portal itself is the door. You see what I mean? Does that make sense? So the other space outside of this room, which is my meditation room, right? I always tell people that you should have a space for your spirituality. Check around. I got stuff all over the walls. I got symbols all over the walls. I got magnets and crystals all over the floor. You should have a space for spiritual practice if you can. If you can't, that's fine. But it should be your mission to get your own space. The portal is the door. Another dimension is outside of the door. All right. Just hopefully that makes sense. Zach Freed. Hey, what's up, brother? Hey man, I've been really busy, man. Anybody that knows what I've been going through, because of 2020 situation, I had to change a little bit up of a couple of my businesses up. Anybody that knows me knows I was doing event production, right? We was doing big music showcases, and we was doing parties and stuff like that. So obviously when 2020 hit and stuff, I had to change up. So now what I'm doing is artist management, and I'm an A&R for a record label as well. So I had to get my schedule together. Things had to change, but that's the key thing to understand. You must be flexible. You see what I mean? When life hits you with something, you got to be flexible, and you got to change, and you got to morph into something new. All right. Always stay on your toes. Always stay flexible. So that's the reason why I've been gone. Hey, Marley, how are you? I know I'm all late with the comments and stuff. Yes. Okay. Let me look at, thank you. Thank you. Pure alignment. What do you think about all the December 21st planetary alignment stuff? Well, you might need to be more specific. Which alignments are you speaking on? I mean, there's tons of things that we could talk about. So just let me know what specific alignment or what specific position of the planets you're talking about. Because again, that can be a whole 5-hour lesson and 5-hour session in itself. So yeah, just give me a little bit more details of what you want to know. But what I do want to say about alignments and planetary alignments and stuff like that is that, remember, what I always say is that you must look at your chart. All right. You must compare the two. So when you see what the planets are doing and what positions they're in, you must analyze this with your astrology chart. I don't know why you guys might not be able to hear it. My damn computer fan is going so crazy right now. But you must analyze what's going on with the planets, what positions they're in, what houses they're in right now. But then you must compare that to your astrology chart. That is the only way that you're going to get an accurate depiction of how the planets are affecting you. I know when you go on the internet and you read these blogs and stuff like that, they always are talking about, oh, this is what Saturn in Aquarius is meaning for you right now. And they're talking to everybody. But as you know, if you've been watching this channel, then you know that that's a whole bunch of crap. All right, because everybody has a different space. Everybody has a different realm. Your astrology chart shows you your space and shows you your realm. It shows you your energy. All right, it shows you how you operate. How you operate is totally different from how I operate. Even if our chart seems similar, you might have Virgo sun sign like me. You might even have Cancer rising like me. You might even have Cancer moon like me. You might even have the two planets in the same houses as me. Still going to be different because of all these other variables. All right. So again, it's fun to listen to that stuff, but again, I got to tell you guys, I always got to be real with you guys. They do it because it's fun, and they know that many people want to click and watch it and stuff like that. And I don't do clickbait. Again, I know how to play the YouTube game. I know how to do clickbait. We all know how to do that. Put up something controversial. You either put up something controversial or put up something that everybody wants to hear and that everybody can relate to. It's like the difference between niche music and pop music. Pop music is trying to touch everybody. So then the music becomes very watered down and lacks substance. But then niche music is talking to a specific individual. Like you think about 90s hip hop, right? 90s hip hop is talking to specific people. Now you can listen to it and relate to it, but the message is for specific people. It's not, and that's why the whole world can't relate to that. That's why 90s hip hop wasn't as worldwide as the hip hop is today. Because the hip hop today is more pop music. It's very watered down and it's trying to reach all the, the whole entire world. Okay. So, let me see. Look at, oh yeah, thank you, LG. Thank you, Maddie Champ. Yin Yang. LG, are we in Mercury retrograde right now? It doesn't even matter. I don't pay attention to retrogrades. So I couldn't even tell you. I don't pay attention to retrogrades. You might say, why? I know everybody's so hype over retrogrades. I mean, Mercury retrograde happens so frequently that it's like no use to even getting hype about it. And it doesn't mean a bad thing. It doesn't mean that you shouldn't travel, that, all this stuff that people make up. Again, if you've been following me, you know exactly what I mean, that there's a whole bunch of crap all over the internet with people that have no idea what they're talking about. And people just hop on the hype to ride a train, to get more popular. So a lot of these spiritual people on YouTube, they know that the retrogrades don't mean nothing. I mean, well, I'm not gonna say they don't mean nothing, but they're important, but they're not such like a crazy negative thing like the way that they paint it. But they know everybody talks about it, and they can ride the wave of the YouTube algorithm and the Google algorithm. So just by talking about it and saying exactly what you think you want to hear. But the retrogrades are not affecting you in a negative way. Again, they are affecting you. But like I said before, you have to compare and contrast to your chart. Some of you have retrogrades in your birth chart. Okay, so that means when that same planet goes retrograde again, you're going to get a significant boost of energy. You're not going to lose energy. Like they're talking about, they making it seem like it's a scary thing. But I'll tell you why they make it seem like it's a scary thing, because the retrograde represents the feminine movement. It moves backwards. It goes in. Just like the vagina, in. When it goes direct, it's masculine, out. And we already know that anything feminine we view as bad. Okay? We view as scary. Anything feminine. So anytime when anything's depicted as evil, right, or bad or something, it's usually feminine. You guys got to catch up to this. So the retrograde just represents the feminine movement of the planet. You see? There's nothing bad about the feminine. All right? And if you want to get really technical, there's nothing good about the feminine. Just like there's nothing bad about the masculine and nothing good about the masculine. It just is. It is. All right? So what you want to do, if you want to get deeper with the retrogrades, you want to look at your chart. So if you're talking about Mercury retrograde, right? All right. Now that you know that the retrograde represents the feminine movement, it represents in and not out. That means your inner world of Mercury. What does Mercury represent? How your brain functions, your thought process, your logical thought process, right? Your communication, not just verbal. Verbal is the least powerful communication. You have body language, you have tone. You hear my tone, right? Let's just say you don't even hear my words, but you hear my tone. This is why it's not about what you say. It's not about what you say. It's how you say it. I could walk up to one of you guys and be like, "Oh, shut up." And you'll be like, "Ah, ha, ha," but if I walk up to you and be like, "Yo, shut up," you'll be like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa. What's your problem?" Tone. That's a form of communication. Tone. Body language is a form of communication. Right? So think about it like this. If you know Mercury is direct, that's your tone, your communication outside to the world. Well, what happens when it goes in? Remember, you communicate with yourself. You see? Now it's the wheels should be moving for you guys. What I mean by retrograde. So now when you look at your astrology chart, you might see exactly what's happening in this world. I mean, in your world. When a planet goes retrograde, it has nothing to do with the stuff that they're talking about. Okay. I just want to make things simple for you, and so you can stop worrying about things, because in the spiritual community, they have us worrying about things all the time. We're just worrying. We're like Christians all over again. Everybody's scared of stuff, and everybody's fearful of everything. And, it's us versus them. Uh, if you don't believe this certain thing, then you have low frequency and you're going with the demons, and sounds like religion all over again. And that's not what this is about. You see what I'm saying? That's not what this is about. So I'm sorry I can't pronounce your name, but can you tell us how to use crystals? I have tons of videos on how to use crystals. What you have to do is that just go through, go back to some of my older videos. I have, videos all about crystals and stuff. I mean, to be honest, using crystals is not that complicated of a thing. Um, you know, but it's really connecting with nature first. That's one of the main things that I said in one of my old videos, was that, see, the thing about like Native Americans, the Native American cultures, is that they respected and gave, energy to nature itself. Remember, you guys might have heard a couple videos back when I was explaining things like, why don't you start giving back to nature as well? Like if you're sun gazing, right, and the rays is hitting you, the sun is giving you energy. Well, how about you use your imagination and imagine you giving the sun energy as well? Okay. I told you about, feeding animals and stuff. I mean, this stuff might seem really, really funny to some people, right? But I'm really serious. You give back to nature and you respect nature, nature will do the same thing to you. So even in my backyard, I have, simple things. I have a compost that I put, all my all the vegetables and stuff that I don't use, all the fruit scraps and everything in the backyard. I give it to the insects. I give it to the earth, the animals. You see what I mean? I also have little bird feeders and stuff. I give back to the birds. I have a garden. I plant things, but you also, in your imagination, when you're walking in nature and you touch trees, touch a tree and envision that you're giving energy to the tree. Do that with your right hand, because if you've been watching my channel, your right hand represents the masculine, your left hand represents the feminine. So when you want to give energy to something, you use your right hand. Okay. That's why you shake with your right hand. This is masonry, baby. That's why you shake hands with your right hand. It's disrespectful to shake with your left hand. Why? Because your left hand represents taking energy. So if you shake with your left hand, that means you're assuming, in masonry, you're trying to take my energy. But you seem more trustworthy if you shake with your right hand, because you're saying, hey, I'm willing to give you energy. Here, I'm gonna shake with my right hand. I'm willing to give you something. Instead of saying, I just want to take something from you. It's trust. What's the Jay-Z line? It's a secret society. All we ask for trust. Everything is built on trust. You want to get a bank loan, they look at your credit score to see if they can trust you. Everything is social dynamics. Everything is social dynamics. Everything is psychology. You see what I'm saying? So walk up to a tree and envision yourself giving energy. Put your right hand on that tree. Envision yourself giving energy to that tree. And then nature will give back to you. And then that's the initiation phase to even start using nature for your own, for your own good. Like something like using crystals, right? Are you initiated? And it's not like some intricate process. You see what I'm saying? It's not no intricate process. It's just awareness. That's what consciousness is. It's awareness. That's your initiation. Are you aware that most of the time people just take from nature? Are you aware of that? Are you conscious of that? Because if you are conscious of that, now you understand that you must give something, and that's how this thing works. It's the law of equal exchange. That's how life works. The law of equal exchange. Like I say all the time, you want to know why relationships don't work today? Because everybody does not know the law of equal exchange. The first thing people say is what they can get from somebody in a relationship. When's the last time you heard about somebody saying this is what they want to give in a relationship? When somebody's single, right? Somebody's single and they're looking and they're ready to mingle, right? And you ask them some questions, the first thing that comes out of their mouth is what they want from somebody. Oh, I need them to do this for me. I need them to do that for me. You're a leech. You're an energy vampire. Not on purpose. A lot of people are leeches and energy vampires, not on purpose. You just don't even realize it because you're not conscious. But best believe every single one of us were energy vampires at some point in time, if you're not still are today. Where you just take from people, you take from everything, you take from nature, you take from your mother, your father, you take from your siblings, you take from your job, you take from everybody, and you give nothing in return. Are you initiated enough to even use a crystal? That's what I mean. Are you aware of that? Are you aware that you're supposed to give back to nature and nature will give back to you in forms such as a crystal for you to utilize for your own personal gain? What's the last thing you did for nature for you to even get the permission to utilize a crystal for your personal gain? That's how you want to think. Because once you're initiated, it becomes very simple to use crystals. You cleanse a crystal with you cleanse the crystal of any, unqualified energy. I'm trying to watch my language. I don't like to say negative no more because negative means feminine. The feminine force. And I already told you about feminine, right? We always seen something as bad. So of course the term negative is synonymous with bad now. And positive is masculine. It's synonymous with good now. Because they taught you to only love masculine energy. They taught you to only worship the penis. And that goes for everybody. I don't care if you're a woman or a male. If you grew up in this society, you worship the penis without you even realizing it. Even when you think you're worshiping the vagina, you're worshiping the penis. Let's get real. Let's get down with it. All right. So you can sage a crystal. That's what I mean by cleansing. You can sage a crystal of unwanted energy, right? And then do your research on the crystal. What does the crystal represent besides a quartz crystal? Quartz crystals are so powerful because you can program them to do whatever. They're totally totally geared to your will. And what do I mean by program? This becomes very simple as well. I want to make things simple for you. What I mean by program is using your imagination. I'm telling you over and over again, your imagination is the most important force in this world. You use your imagination to command what you want it to do for you. That's a quartz crystal. Any other crystal, you do your research and understand what it's good for. And then you can apply that to whatever. So if you think about a crystal that might be good for attracting lovers, you know what to apply that to. Friendships and lovers. Okay. It becomes very, very simple. It doesn't have to be complicated like people make it complicated. Okay. But To answer your question, what you want to do is go back to some of my old videos, go all the way back. I have plenty of videos on crystals and you can tap into that. Okay. Okay, say, hey, catching you live for the first time. Great to hear you after such a long break. Lots of love for Spain, from Spain. Shout out to you. I'm sorry I can't pronounce your name. Anybody that knows me knows I have an issue with pronunciation, right? So I'm not even going to disrespect you and attempt to say these names if I feel like I can't say them. But much love to Spain. Much love to you, my brother or sister, wherever you fall in line with that. But much love to you and much love to Spain. And I appreciate you. I appreciate everybody in the chat right now. Please give me the like, hit that like button if you haven't did so already. The main reason I'm here is to tap in, answer any questions for you guys because it's been so long. I just want to talk to the people, and that was my first introduction of getting back on the YouTube, is just vibing out with you guys, seeing what's on your mind, seeing what kind of videos you guys want me to make. So I can give you exactly what you need. Remember when I was talking about the law of equal exchange? You guys give to me just by watching the videos, regardless if you had bought one of my services before, if you got one of my readings or anything like that, you're still giving to me, and that's very important that I give to you. So I want to give something to you. So whoever you are out there in the world, please let me know what you desire to learn, what you desire for me to tap into, and I will do my best, if I have the knowledge to do so, to help you out with that. Okay. All right. So let's look at some of these comments. Oh yes, LG, has become pretty apparent how crazy the general public is acting when an election is around the corner. Well, I mean, that happens every time. Remember, the masses always, they always do what they do. Okay. Um, for the most part, you should not even be concerning yourself with an election. If you are, I mean, hey, it's up to you. But as far as me and, my tribe, and we're not concerned with that. All right. That's the last thing we're concerned about. We're concerned about, getting our business together. We're concerned about getting our health together. We're concerned about getting our social connections together. We're concerned about getting our fun together and how to have fun and amplify ourselves and travel the world. That's what we're concerned about. Arguing about who's going to be president and who's the best president for the United States or for whatever country you're from, it's just not important. All right. If you think it's important, then again, you're going with the masses. Again, the masses, the mindset, whatever all these people are doing, you might want to check your reality if you should believe in that or should waste energy on that. Okay. You might just want to check your reality. All right. Again, if you like politics, that's totally fine. Because here's the thing I always say. Listen carefully, everybody. I want you to listen carefully to this. This is what I always say. Just because you're considered a spiritual person, right, does not mean you're not supposed to tap into certain realms. Some of you maybe are supposed to be a politician. All right. And we may need you. Maybe more of us would care more about politics if they had more of our people in it. Right. No matter what race you are, whatever, but maybe we would care more if more of our people were associated with it. What I mean is by people that are awakening, that are spiritual. But that's your job to figure that out. What you need to do in life. Doesn't matter what it is. Some of you may need to become doctors. Some of you may need to become lawyers. Some of you may need to become movie stars. I don't know. Don't let this ideology of spirituality make you seem like you're not supposed to do anything in life, because that's toxic. Okay. That's what we call toxicity. That's what we call an energy vampire and a leech. Again, somebody that just wants to leech off of everybody else and doesn't want to contribute anything and just wants to live off the land. Right. You just want to take from nature all day. when you should be creating. You should be changing reality every moment. We're in the age of Aquarius right now. Do you understand what that means? We're in the age of Aquarius, the age of innovation to create change, not try to go back to what we did in the past. We're supposed to be innovating with our logical minds to create change, to make life better. So that means there's something within you that you need to bring out to make life better for the rest of us. And there's something within me that I need to do to make life better for the rest of you. So some of you might need to get into politics. And then maybe more spiritual people will be more concerned with politics. You see how this domino effect goes? So, but yes, that's the painted picture for you. All right. So, all right. So, Brian, what happened to the aura when you make the transition? What transition are you referring to, Brian? You go through many transitions within life. You going from child to teenager stage is a transition. You going from one job to another is a transition. You realizing spirituality is a transition. You falling in love is a transition. Again, like I said, I don't mean to make things more difficult for you when I just want to get to the specifics of your question so you can get more detailed. And for future people, when they ask a question, to get specific with the question. So you're saying death. So you're asking what happens to the aura when you die? Well, that's a tricky question. But one thing that we do know is that energy is never destroyed. So obviously your aura energy goes somewhere. Can I answer that question? I mean, many people have put speculation on what happens after death, but here's the thing. Let's just be honest and be real. We don't know what happens after death. Okay. Now we do have strong indications that you come back in another body. There's strong evidence there. Okay. The strong evidence that you come back into another body. The ancients, all the ancients have said so. And when it comes to research, right, you have a thing called cross-referencing, right? And so that means when two sources are saying the same thing, but they are nowhere near connected. This is how you find the truth. So many ancient cultures that are nowhere connected are all saying the same thing. All right. And the science world just realized recently that energy is never destroyed. So that's why I always say you can't rely on scientific evidence all the time because they're so slow. They're so slow with everything. Just not too long ago, psychology was known as a pseudoscience. Now you can go to school for psychology because they're so slow. But the ancients been talking about this stuff. See what I mean? So the ancients have always said that you come back in another body and you transition to another body. And then if you want to get deeper into the occult, the reason why that is because you haven't completed missions here. And again, if you get into astrology with the North and South node, okay, it's because things haven't been finished here. Why? Think about it even in today's terms. You have something that you need to do in this life, but you refuse to do it. You know what you need to do. You have these urges within your body and within your mind. And what do? You follow what somebody else told you to do. And then you hit your deathbed, you die. You're not finished yet because you didn't complete the mission. So now you got to come back and do it all over again. You see what I'm saying? So energy is never destroyed, right? But there's strong indications that you transfer into another body because you haven't completed the mission. Now, as far as what happens on the next level up from this plane, I have no idea. I have no clue. All right. I have no clue what happens in this next higher level off of this plane of existence. We're barely scratching the surface of what happens on this existence. But don't ever let that defer you from wondering and trying to find the truth. I'm trying to find the truth as well, my brother. And that's the point of all this is we're trying to help each other and we're trying to learn together. You see what I mean? So let's see. My name means free yourself from the matrix and finish. Respect, my brother. Are you still taking magic coaching students right now? If so, how much? Um, I am still taking magic coaching students. Again, we work for a period of time, which could be months and months. So instead of doing, like, a payment plan or something like that, I usually charge my regular price is a one payment of $500, and we work for. I mean, it depends. It could be 8 months, it could be 9 months, it could be, it really depends. Everybody is different. I work with people on different time periods. Okay, but I will be working with you on a monthly basis. All right, I would give you a foundation the first couple of times we speak and we connect with each other, right? Some very important things that is only for you according to your numerology chart and your astrology chart. Then I would coach you along on a monthly basis for however long it needs to take. Everybody is different. Okay. All right. So, and what is your opinion on subliminal audios, morphic field audios? Is it safe to use? I mean, any subliminal audio is safe to use, but it depends on who's producing the audio, right? It's like saying herbs herbs are safe to use, but it depends on what you're using it for. You can create poison, or you can create a tonic that heals you. So the self, it's like money too. Like, they say, is money the root of all evil? Money is not the root of all evil. It depends on how you're using it, right? So, to answer your question, it is safe to use, but is the person you're receiving it from using it in a great way that can help you out? That's what you have to check. Who's giving it? Where are you getting it from? What's the source that you're receiving it from? And do they have great intentions? There's nothing wrong. Obviously, subliminal audio can be a very beneficial thing to you if it's used in the correct way. You see what I mean? All right. By the way, it's not a political joke. I'm just saying it is. It is as an occultist. Yeah, I get what you mean, brother. All right. So, by the way, on my channel, I don't know why this is not showing, but by the way, on my channel, I publish videos that I in to make important information in my mother tongue. Would you mind me publishing videos from you as well? No, I don't. I don't mind at all. Feel free to use my videos and post them up. Feel free to do that. I don't mind at all. Okay. Just put in the caption, uh, you know, video from occult healing or something like that. I mean, I don't mind. Again, this information is for the people. So you can always promote my videos if you desire to do so. I would be happy with that. I would appreciate that. So, LG, I died and came back into the same body when I was born. Perhaps my energy was too strong to leave my body. LG, that sounds like astral projection to me. If you remember clearly how that felt, but maybe not. I'm just saying it sounds like astral projection to me. Okay. Hold on 1 second, guys. All right. All right. Okay. So let's look at. Oh, namaste, Empress. Thank you for tuning in. Kat, I think that's how you pronounce your name. Namaste, Namaste and greetings to you, Echo. All right, Empress, are there any teachings can you use to recall past lives? Is it written anywhere in your birth chart? Now, dealing with the South Node, that's connected to your past lives, okay? Your South Node. Now, here's the thing. You can't really get into very specific details with the South Node. Even the best astrologers in the world cannot give you specific details. They can give you an overview of past lives by understanding some of the debt, because that's what your South Node is. It represents the debt that you hold from a past life. Okay. The only way that you can see specific details is if you got to go through meditation efforts. Okay. You have to take yourself within your mind. You have to take your conscious mind into your subconscious mind. That's what you're essentially doing in meditation, or at least advanced meditation. Because beginners meditation and the meditation that most people know about is you just calming the mind, becoming 0 point, so you can actually maneuver your consciousness. But that's where they stop. They just calm the mind, and they don't go any further. So advanced meditation is when you go further than that. Once you actually achieve the stillness, which is a practice in itself. Creating stillness can take many, many years of practice in meditation. But once you do that, you can you can transfer your consciousness into your subconsciousness. All right. You can go deeper, you can go farther. And this is what they mean by past life regressions. You start to go deep enough where you transfer your consciousness into a whole nother time period. And if you do it so much, you'll do it within your dream realm as well. You'll go through different time periods. And you might say, well, how do I know if it's just my imagination or not? Trust me, you'll know. So if you feel like you don't know, it doesn't make sense to you, then it's probably because you didn't do it. Because you'll absolutely know. It's something that you can't really explain logically and verbally that well, but it's a feeling, like when it happens. Okay. So yes, but meditation efforts. All right, you got to go deep enough. And how you do that, right, is when you're in the stillness. Like I said, the stillness takes so long to get to, especially in today's time. Right? You have to create the stillness, and then you have to have the consciousness to say, I'm going within my subconscious mind. And going within your subconscious mind is a very, very difficult and scary thing. Remember, your subconscious mind is all these things that you've been holding within yourself. All the things, all the memories that all the painful stuff that you try to put away in your closet. The skeletons in your closet. All the things that you run away from. Or some of the things that you actually need, right? But it's all these things that you're not aware of anymore. That, when you run away from things, when you don't address problems, when you don't address issues, men, when you don't address emotions, to my men out there. Okay. And even women that don't address emotions, but it's more so a man thing, right? You don't address something, it goes into the subconscious mind, it goes into your closet full of your other skeletons. You see what I'm saying? So you dive deep. Once you pass all that junk and clean it all out, or not even clean it all out, once you face all these demons within yourself, that's what they mean by facing your demons. You got to go within your subconscious mind and face all the things that you've been hiding, that you've been running away from. Once you get past that and you go even deeper, you'll touch the true subconscious mind. That's connected to the Akashic records. First, you're going to tap into your records, which is your memories from past lives. And then if you go through all that, you'll tap into the universe's memories. We're talking about very advanced stuff. So best believe you can't just go to somebody and pay them $500 and expect them to be able to truly tap into your past lives. It's a hoax. It's real, but I'm telling you, most of those people that claim that they can do that for a certain amount of money are lying to you. Again, I'm going to be the one to tell you the truth. I'm going to be the one to shut all this Christian stuff down, because that's what it is. It's like going to your preacher and saying that you can get Jesus Christ through your preacher. No, you cannot. You cannot get anything from somebody else, or as far as something of that magnitude. So if you do believe in Jesus Christ, let's just say you are a Christian, you do believe in Jesus Christ, you cannot get access through another person. That's not how this thing works. It's only within yourself. Okay? That's what I mean by, I'm not, jabbing at people that believe in the Bible, but again, I will jab at people that believe in the church. Because if you know these things, you know the Bible and the church are two different things. And I'm just using that as an analogy because the church is based off of, and this is what's happening in spirituality, where people are claiming to be these these speakers for the gods. And you have to come to them for access to this realm. That's not how this works. If you want to get to your Akashic records, to your records and the universal conscious Akashic records, people can help you and assist you, because this is what I do. I help people and I assist them with understanding themselves. This is why I do astrology readings and tarot readings, to help you understand yourself. This is why I do the magic coaching sessions, to help you understand yourself. But you can't go through me to get to your past lives, and you can't go through me to get to the Akashic records. You can't go through me to learn how to astral project. Okay? So hopefully that makes sense. All right, let me look at these. In certain spiritual traditions, like in Kundalini yoga, they say that when you do spiritual practice between 3 and 6 a.m., you get 40 times more benefit from it. What do you think of that? There's truth to that. Anybody that's heard any of my videos knows that when you first wake up, that morning time period, I wouldn't say from 3, but 6 a.m., 5 to 6 a.m. to, I would say like maybe 5 to 8 a.m. are very important time periods. When you first wake up, you are exiting a portal, all this energy, because you're coming out of your subconscious mind, which is a portal. And this is a powerful time period. Also the time right before you go to sleep. I've been said this in many videos. So yes, there's a lot of truth to that. That early morning time period is very important. Do you believe coronavirus is real? What's your thoughts on having to wear a mask? I hate, sorry, Zach, but questions like that. I mean, it doesn't matter if it's real or not. It's affecting everybody. Okay. Who cares if it's real or not? The whole thing is, what are the results? The results is that 2020 has made it had put everybody at a standstill. The real question is, what did you do with the results? Who cares about if you have to wear a mask or not? That's very insignificant. And anybody that's getting so upset about that is worried about the wrong things. That's something so tiny and so small. Okay. What are the results is what you should be asking. And again, I don't mean that in any kind of malicious way, Zach. I just want you to switch your mental to results. Forget what, if it's real or not, because guess what? It affected everybody regardless if it's real or not. The mask wearing affected everybody regardless if you like it or not. Who cares? You see what I'm saying? What are the results? What do what can you do instead? Because there's so many people complaining about wearing a mask when it's so simple. That's how you know you're pampered. You're spoiled. Because there's bigger things in the world to worry about than if you have to wear a mask or not. You're spoiled. You're pampered. That's why it's mostly Americans that are worried about it. in other well-developed countries that are crying about it because they're spoiled. You get everything handed to you, and you feel like you're totally delusional. Nothing bad ever happens in your life, and you never have to struggle for things. So you're pampered. So the first little thing that doesn't go your way, you want to cry and moan about it. It doesn't matter, you know. And that's no shot at to anybody who's upset about it. It's just like it let's switch our mind. That's why I'm not even talking about it. Let's switch our mind to results. This is what successful people do. We just maneuver. I told you what happened to me. I lost a whole big income. I lost one of my incomes. I'm not on here bitching moaning about it, am I? Like, oh my God, everything sucks. You know, what I did was kept it pushing, became flexible, and got new incomes. I got 2 new incomes after losing one income. That's how you're supposed to move. Model after that. I lost one income, gained two. You see? So just, let's get to stuff that's really important, that is really going to affect you, and get you the results that you're looking for, and get you the happiness that you're looking for. Okay, so hopefully that helps you out. All right, again, it doesn't matter, like, the mass doesn't matter, that's not important. Okay, uh so let's see. All right, so lately during dream time I feel like I've been in. Okay, hey Junk, glad to see you tapping in. Great. Of course, I will publish a video from you, put all your information in the description and so on. I appreciate that. Much love to you. I appreciate that. Okay, someone mentioned it earlier, but what are your thoughts on the planetary? Uh, Someone mentioned it earlier, but what are your thoughts on the planetary alignments during December 21st, specifically Jupiter and Saturn conjunction in Aquarius? Again, what I said, because I answered that question, what I said is that you have to compare it to your astrology chart. Okay. That's what you have to do. I'd stay away from questions like that because I try to stay as truthful as I can. You see what I mean? Everybody's December 21st is going to be different according to your astrology chart. You see what I'm saying? That's why I try to stay away from questions like that, where I can't just tell everybody what's going to happen, because everything is different according to your astrology chart. What you can do is, hey, you can look up on in your astrology chart where your Jupiter is at, what's the position, whatever, so on and so forth. Same thing with Saturn, right? Okay. Look at your Saturn positions. Now compare that to what's happening in this world, right? In the world, right? The Jupiter and Saturn conjunction. What signs are they in, and what's the conjunction in? Right? Once you do that, you should have an accurate picture on what's happening. Again, this takes a lot of research, guys. It's not something that you just learn tomorrow. And like I said, sometimes I might not accurately, I might not answer the question exactly how you want to, but the reason why I don't do that is because I'm trying to remain in the middle path as much as possible. All right. So again, I might not answer the question exactly how you want. You might say, yo, I just want to know, right? And I'm telling you the truth. I can't tell you because I don't know what I don't have your astrology chart right in front of me and looking and comparing and contrasting the two, saying, okay, Saturn is in their 8th house at this time period. So when Saturn goes in Aquarius and they're in the ninth house out here in the world, this is how it's going to affect this individual. That's how you have to start thinking, guys. We have to get out of this realm where we're listening to these people on these blogs and in YouTube channels that literally just tell everything, that give one message to everybody. It's just like the reason why schools are failing. The reason why schools are failing is because they're trying to teach every single child the same exact way, in one way. That doesn't work because every child is different. So most of these children are not going to reach their full potential in education because they're being taught a certain way that doesn't mesh well with their energy. All right. It's just with the education system has to be updated. All right. I don't know how to do it, or I would lend a hand, but that's not my realm. I know that's not what I'm supposed to do. One of you guys might need to do that. That might be your calling, is to help update the education system. But I'm using that as an example for the same thing here. I can't effectively tell you what's going to happen. I already answered that question by saying that, is what I'm saying, Echo. So hopefully, I apologize if it's not the answer that you're looking for. All right. Uh, okay. So what are your thoughts on the spine? All right. It is as I went to the chiropractor and loosened the knot in my neck, and I started having vivid dreams and seeing synchronous numbers. Also, my depression majorly decreased. So, Zach, that's a very good question, because remember, your spine carries a ton of energy and information. Okay. So here's the thing: if you're having back problems, uh if you have blockages within your spinal area, which most people do, especially in our generation, because we're always looking down at our phones. I was looking at my phone too, by the way. So we're always looking down, and a lot of us have bad posture, and this is what yoga helps out with. Get your posture right. A lot of us are always like this, hunched over, instead of being comfortable like this. So um again, once you clear those blockages out, the natural thing that's going to happen is now you have constant energy. You have the energy being able to flow up. Because remember, at the bottom of your tailbone is that Kundalini energy. I mean, there's many different terms for it. Um, Kundalini is just a term that the Eastern parts of the world use, but there's many different terms for this. All right, but I just use Kundalini because it's a lot of spiritual people know that term. So the Kundalini energy is that energy at the bottom of your tailbone. This is actually scientific. All right. Scientists know that there's an abundance of energy down here. All right. So you can no longer say this is pseudoscience for any logical, extra logical people out there. You can't no longer say that. All right. Again, most scientists are just very slow. The science world is very slow. The ancients have been saying this for thousands of years. They're just now catching up now. So again, once you release blockages, like if you do get a effective massage or a chiropractor, straightens your spine now. And one thing I will say to everybody is get your spinal cord decompressed. You might want to research that, because a chiropractor will know. Look up spinal decompression. Spinal decompression. All right, guys, get those sessions set up. Don't be scared. You might want to look on YouTube and look at spinal decompression, and it may look scary, but I'm telling you, once you get your spine decompressed and those blockages are taken out, what's going to happen is all that. I just hit the thing. Hopefully my mic is good, but all that energy starts shooting up again. People always say this. They always say they start having lucid dreams. They start astral projecting. They start, like, depression goes away, anxiety goes away. I mean, this stuff is powerful. Look up spinal decompression. Go to a chiropractor if you can, in your area. Or if you have to travel, I suggest it. Your life can literally change off of that session, and continue to get it done. I would say once a year, get spinal decompression once a year. Okay. All right. So I got attached to me. Wait a minute, though. I'm not young dragon. I'm not really understanding I got yeah, I'm not understanding what you're saying. Sorry, I apologize for that, but I just can't really understand what you're saying. Though, like, not, yeah, I'm sorry, I have to move on. Like, if you can, say it in, easier way for me to read and understand. Hey, Christina, hope you are doing well today. Okay, so Soul contracts. You got to come back if mission or purpose is not completed. Yes, C Diggs, of course. John, do you think a major event could happen on the 21st? And their major events happen every single day. Okay. Again, I'm always going to answer it in this very simple way, but yeah, I mean, a major events happen every day. You don't have to wait for, December 21st for a major event to happen. Again, here's the thing. Like I said, there could be a major event within your personal reality. Yes. But as far as a major event in the world, just because Jupiter and Saturn are conjuncting in Aquarius is not significant enough. Okay. It's not big enough, you know. But things could happen. I mean, there's certain astrologers that really dedicate their whole life on trying to find out what could and what if and all that stuff. And that's not the kind of astrologer that I am. Um, the kind of astrologer that I am a personal astrologer that really helps people find themselves. I'm not concerned with what ifs and trying to predict the future and trying to see what's going to happen in the world, because here's the thing, this world is feminine. Existence, the physical plane is feminine. That's why it represents the earth element, because earth is feminine. And what that means is that things move and change all the time. So that means that, hey, you might be able to predict something, but hey, it could happen, it could not happen. I don't concern myself with trying to find the future and figure things out. What I concern myself is with myself and my journey and the journey of everybody else of trying to find their self. You see what I mean? That's what I believe is most important. And hey, that might just be my personal perception. Somebody else's personal perception might be totally dedicated to the outside realm. I'm dedicated to you as a person, because I'm dedicated to me as a person. How can I make you happier? How can I make your relationships better? How can I make your health better? How can I make you find your career? You see what I'm saying? That's what I'm concerned with. I'm concerned with personal development. You see what I mean? I don't care about politics. I don't care about all this stuff. I'm concerned with you. How are you feeling today? Are you okay? Are you okay today? How can I make that better? Is there any way I can assist you to make you feel better today? Because here's the thing. This is very important. Sometimes just making somebody feel better for the day might just totally change their world. There's people in this world that go through and get nothing but negativity from people. Like I said, I'm trying not to use negativity as a word. There's people in this world that get nothing but hatred and disgust from other people. You see what I mean? There's people in this world that just want some kind of kindness. So how can I make that's what I'm concerned with. I'm concerned with your personal growth. Okay. I'm concerned with your personal development. I'm concerned with you becoming the awakened being that I know that you are. I'm concerned with you understanding what I understand, so we can have an effective conversation and we can, not me be your teacher, but us be equals, and we can shake hands with each other and have fun together and travel the world together. I'm concerned with you, um, changing the connections that might be kind of bad with your family members, so you can lift things off of your shoulders, so you can feel the pressure release that I've felt. You see what I mean? That's what I'm concerned with. That's what I use astrology for. And like I said, there's other people that use astrology for nothing but uh worldly events, and that's totally fine. There's nothing wrong about that. You see what I mean? There's nothing wrong about being worried about worldly events. That's just not what I'm worried about. I'm worried about personal growth. Okay? That's what I'm worried about. I don't think I was supposed to survive this long so early. So early on, they mentioned Telemer's wishes connected to immortality. I'm not sure how to respond to that, my brother. John, body posture affects your subconscious mind. Yes. If your body posture is low and slumped over, you will actually feel that way mentally. Yes, your body and mind is connected, everybody. John just dropped a heavy golden nugget on you guys. Your body, because here's the thing, back to the four worlds, right? You have the earth element, you have the water element, you have the air element, you have the fire element. Earth represents your body, water represents your emotions, air represents the mind, fire represents the spirit. Now, these are four different worlds, but they're all connected. It's just like your body, right? You have your arms, you have your head, neck, waist, legs, right? Feet. These are different areas. My arms are different from my legs, right? But they're all a part of the same thing, and they're connected. So it's the same thing with the four worlds. So again, remember that things that are higher affect the lower. For example, your mental, right, will affect your emotional, and then your emotional will affect the physical. So again, a mental problem can turn into an emotional problem, which turns into a physical problem. See what I mean? So that means if you have bad posture and you're slumped over and stuff like that, it's something higher, because what I always tell you guys, the physical is the result. It's the effect. It's not the cause. The cause is always something higher, wherever it may be. It might be in the emotional realm, might be in the physical realm. I mean, in the mental realm, or it might be in the spiritual realm. All right. So you can look at somebody's body and tell a lot about their emotions or their mind or their spirit. Heavy body, heavy emotions, or heavy mind. Let's get to it. Let's be real. Okay. So on and so forth. I keep seeing 33 a lot every day. Can you please tell me about this? Junk, when you're seeing numbers, especially especially master numbers, this is why it's very important to have a diary, because every time you see that number, you want to write down what exactly was happening in your environment and exactly how you was feeling. And what's going to happen is, when you've written this down, for a few weeks or whatever, how long you feel like it needs to take, you will be revealed on what it means for you. So it's a little bit of work, right? But every time, this goes for anybody, because this happens a lot. People say this all to me all the time. What you want to do is, every time you see that number that you keep seeing all the time, you want to get a little notepad, right? Something like this. I have these everywhere. These little notepads. I'm not playing out here. I'm not playing. I'm serious about this, okay? I have these notepads everywhere, because anytime I go out or go out into the world, or I'm doing something, I got stuff written down right here. I don't know if you guys, I got stuff written down everywhere, because I'm constantly taking notes. You see what I'm saying? Oh, thank you. Who just sent that money? Thank you, Brianna. I appreciate you. Much love to you for donating that. I really appreciate it. I always appreciate that. Thank you so much. Okay, so anytime you see those numbers, I believe it was Junk. Yes, Junk. I think I'm saying that right. Write it down. Write down what was going on. Say, I was having a conversation with my mother, and I felt really inspired at the moment, or whatever. And you keep doing this for a time period, and then I want you to go back and read it and see the pattern. And I'm telling you right now, this works for everybody that I deal with. You're gonna instantly know what it means. Okay, you're gonna instantly know what it means. So just do that little bit of work. All right, it's only a little bit. Um, but if you're truly interested in knowing what those numbers mean for you, that's what's gonna happen. Okay. Now, by the way, Brianna, I appreciated that it's 777. All right. I know what you're doing. I know what you're doing, and I like it. All right, Brianna. Okay. So, oh, C Diggs, happy birthday to you. Appreciate you. You've been a supporter of mine for very long. If you were close to me in my area, I would say let's go out and have a toast. Well, actually, I can't have a toast at the moment, because I'm on a herbal cleanse right now. I'm on a herbal cleanse. Uh, I'm on a herbal cleanse until November 9th, guys. I've been on a herbal cleanse for like a month and some change. But I would, definitely have fun today. Have a beautiful day, guys. Like I always say, man, we think as spiritual people, we're supposed to be serious and we're supposed to be separated from the people. I'm going to tell you right now that you're supposed to go out there and have fun. You're supposed to enjoy this life as much as you can. Life is already hard. Life is going to give you pain and separation already. Why would you inflict it on yourself even more? Don't make this harder than it has to be. Enjoy your friends, enjoy your family, enjoy your lovers, have fun. That's what high frequency people do. We talk about being high frequency, right? We talk about being up here and not down here. When you're low frequency, you want to be separated all the time. You're always depressed, you're always angry, you're always mad. When you're high frequency, people love you. You're laughing all the time, you're joking, you're out in the world, you're sharing your energy, you're being one with the people, you're being one with nature. So C Diggs, take this time out today to get out into the world and have fun with your people. Have fun with your family, have fun with your lover if you have one, have fun with your children if you have them. And enjoy this lifetime. All right. There's people, there's entities and there's spirits in other realms that want your spot. And it's because you're not grateful and you're not grateful and you're taking, what is the word I'm searching for? What is the term I'm searching for? You're just not realizing what you have. Okay. Not saying you see Diggs, but I'm just talking in general. So realize what you have. Look at your body. You have a body, you can feel pleasure, you can feel pain. So go out there and pleasure yourself and have fun today. And hopefully everything goes right for your day. Okay. All right. So do you have to come back after we die because we can't get out of the Earth's electromagnetic sphere with our aura? Brian, that was an interesting question because there are many conspiracy theories that theorize things like you might have heard that the moon stops you from going past this realm because of your aura is heavy. Think about what the Egyptians were saying about death. They were saying that in order for you to rise higher when you die, you have to have a heart that's very light. Well, think about it like this. What happens when you're on your deathbed and you feel like you didn't finish anything or you have a lot of regrets? This is what makes your heart heavy. And it's not physically making your heart heavy. We're talking about your energy, your aura. It's making you heavy. So you come back, you rise and you come back down because you're too heavy. So, that will be my take on it because the ancients have spoke on this already. They already said that, again, if you have all these regrets, it has nothing to do about like what the Christians and religions say about, oh, if you're super good, you're rising to the top. Doesn't matter if you're super good or super bad. It matters about energy. You see what I'm saying? There's super good people that have a lot of regrets in life. Usually because they let other people walk all over them all the time. And they did things that they didn't want to do. That's called toxicity as well. We always talk about one opposite end of toxicity. There's also the other opposite. Each side is an extreme, guys. It's all about walking the middle path. If you go throughout this world just turning your cheek to everything that happens to you, you are toxic as well. It's just as toxic as the person that's always smacking somebody's cheek. I always give the analogy of living like the martial artist, right? The martial artist lives for peace and promotes peace, right? But when the martial artist is stuck in a corner, they will break you. All right? They will hurt you. Walk the middle path, promote peace and live peace, but you must defend yourself. This is a kill or be killed world. If you don't believe me, look at nature. Look at the rainforest and go to the desert and see what nature does to you when you try to turn your other cheek. You will be dead within seconds. If a lion's coming at you, trying to eat you, you're gonna turn the other cheek and say, I don't want any violence. Okay. Well, now you're gonna be food and nourishment for something or someone else. That's what happens when you turn the other cheek. You become food and nourishment for something or someone else. Okay. So it's all about energy. Everything is about energy. So if you're too heavy, right, you're going to come back down. Now, I don't know. Again, these are conspiracy theories. I don't know if there's some kind of agenda. It's most likely not, because that's what most people believe. And I already told you about what most people believe. If the masses are believing it, then it's probably not happening. But if there's some kind of agenda to keep you here, okay, there could be. I'm not saying it's wrong, but I'm just saying I don't know. But one thing I do know is what the ancients are saying. And what I truly think, my perception of reality, is people are doing this to themselves. And you know how the thing is, right? Where nobody wants to take responsibility for their own actions, so they just want to blame something else. Oh, it's a whole system keeping me down. And people do this with little things, like check relationships. Nobody believes that they were the one in the wrong in relationship. Everybody always blames the other person. Oh, that person was crazy. Oh, that person didn't deserve me. Nobody takes responsibility. It's the same way with big things. Nobody wants to take responsibility. What I believe is people are doing this stuff to themselves and don't want to take responsibility and start blaming other things outside of themselves. But hey, I could be wrong. You never know. But it makes logical sense to me. Okay. All right. Hey, Phoenix Smith. Thank you for coming into the live stream. You know I appreciate you. John, we're still talking about December 21st. Come on, man. Listen. All right. Who knows? There could be a major event. I mean, again, it's not that important. Christina, I appreciate you too. I appreciate you too. Much love. Empress, is there any books that you can recommend for beginning astrology? Yes, I always recommend this book. Let me see if I can find it real quick, guys. Dang, what is this book called? If anybody else can help me out, because I always recommend this astrology book for beginners. Dang, what is it called? I can't even remember. Let me see if I can find it. Let's see. Yeah, I cannot remember the name of it. So I mean, Empress, I might have to get back to you on that. I cannot remember it for the life of me right now. Sorry about that. But if anybody remembers, it's always the same astrology book that I recommend for beginners. If anybody can help me remember that name or that link, if you can post the link in the chat. Echo, The Essential Guide to Practical Astrology. Thank you. Appreciate it. Tate, you said it too. Okay, so what I'll do, I'll put the link. Hold on. There we go. Thank you, Tate and Echo. I appreciate that. Hold on one second while I get this link for you. I don't know why it's taking me so long to get it. Hold on one second. Oh, I don't know why I keep getting the Kindle version. I mean, but yeah, they have the title in there. But yeah, it's The Essential Guide to Practical Astrology by April Elliott Kent. Because I don't want to waste too much time, because I was trying to get the link, but For some reason, it was messing me up. But yeah, it's right there. If you look it up, Empress. And again, thank you, Tate and Echo, for doing that. Okay. All right. Junk, no problem, my brother. No problem at all. All right, write down the numbers and I forget to write down what was that. Kelly, yeah, I know it happens a lot. I'm gonna make a 33 diary right now. Right. Pure alignment. No, I'm not familiar with that storm, that solar storm that happened in 1859. I'm sorry, I'm not familiar with that. Do you know anything about the astral body, Dio? What do you want to know about the astral body? I mean, the astral body is your energy fingerprint. But I mean, there's so many things we can talk about. Like again, like I always say, where everybody's asking questions. If you ask a question, please try to be specific of what you're asking. Because we could talk about a million things by just saying, "Do you know about the astral body?" What specific thing are you what specific question about the astral body are you looking for, so I can just help you out better, Dio? I appreciate you tapping in and in the live stream, by the way. Brian, thank you, I appreciate you. Appreciate you for tapping in, and from wherever you're at in the world. I think you said North Carolina, right? I think hopefully I got it right. All right, so Maddie Champ, I just came back to the chat. I don't know if anyone asked this. Are you still doing tarot readings? Yes, Maddie Champ, I am still doing tarot readings. I'm still doing astrology readings. I'm still doing tarot readings. I mean, all the same services. Numerology readings I'm doing now as well. I forget my own service. I'm still giving out the how to make money from home session. I'm still giving out the money spell. What else? I still have the hypnosis session. All of my services. So anybody that's interested in my services, to email me at occulthealing22@gmail.com. The email's in the description of this video. You send me an email and ask me what are my services and the prices for my services, and I'll send you a full list and we can go from there. So we can do it like that. Let me see. Someone recommended Inner Sky to me as a starter astrology book, if that helps. Hey, yeah, Empress, you might want to check that book out. I'm not familiar with that book, but Kelly Smith knows what she's talking about, so it's probably a good book as well. All right, so is the electromagnetic sphere the aura of the Earth? Yes, you could call it that. I mean, specifically, they're not saying those exact terms, but I can understand why somebody would call it that. Okay, so yes, you could call it that. Kofi, what's up, my brother? Appreciate you coming into the live stream, man. Guys, like I said, I just wanted to check in for a little while. Is there any other questions before I, get ready to dip out? Brianna, you said get out and pleasure yourself today. Yeah, whatever it takes, yo. I gotta go offline and head into work. Well, have a great day at work, Brianna. I hope everything is is well for you. And like I said, I appreciate each and every single one of you guys for tapping in and taking the time out. I guess I'm about to check out. I just wanted to talk with you guys, again, to let you know I'm back. To let you know I'm back, and I'll be updating videos again, probably on my regular schedule, which is usually 1 or 2 videos a week. Just tapping in. Remember, guys, and this is for the people that are watching the live stream that are not a part of it. If there's any video topics that you want me to talk about, please write them in the comments of this video for future reference. I'm paying attention. I want to look. So write down your comments. Any of the questions further as well, Write down your questions. I mean, send me the questions in the comments, guys. It's just easier because here's the thing. A lot of people will try to ask me questions in the email. The email is really specifically for booking sessions and stuff like that. And a lot of times I have an assistant taking over my email and she can't answer the questions, but I'm paying attention to the comments of the video. You see what I'm saying? So ask your questions in the comments of the video. Because again, my assistant's not too familiar. She just handles the booking. So the a code healing22 at gmail.com is really for the booking of the services. All right. All your questions, please ask them in the comments. Please put, your references of videos you might make me want to do or a topic you want me to talk about in the comments. Okay. So that will just be easier for me. And then that way, I can get to what you're specifically asking. So I see a question from Kelly. Do eye energy transfer videos work the same as real life eye to eye contact? Oh, yes. I mean, remember with energy is infinite and energy is at all places at all time. And as long as you can see the eyes, right? That's still energy transference. Okay, Kelly. So that totally still works. So let's just pretend you're doing a video chat with somebody. Same thing with like readings or something. As many may know, I'll do a tarot reading over the phone. And people will ask me, like, is it still the same as doing a reading in person? And I say, energy is everywhere. If you're talking to me, you're communicating with me, our energies are already connected. It doesn't matter if you're right in front of me or not. You can feel me. I can feel you. We're speaking to each other. We're here together. So that, again, you can absolutely create that energy connection. No matter what means. You could be on the moon, right? You could be on the moon and I'm here and we're talking on the phone or whatever, and we'll be connected energetically. Again, think about somebody you're in a relationship with or like a family member. They could be all across the world and you're still not you haven't talked to them on the phone or anything, right? And you're still connected with them energetically. Doesn't matter. Energy is always present. So you could definitely still do that. Thank you, John, for coming in, to the live stream. Thank you, everybody. Shout out to you, Bryant. Shout out to you, Kelly. Shout out to Kofi. Shout out to Echo, Sheldon. Shout out to Empress, Samurai Lee, Marley. Shout out to you, One Love, Brianna. Everybody for participating. Tate, Echo. I think I said your name. Maddie Champ, Dio, Pure Alignment. Junk. I don't know if I said your name. Christina, much love to everybody. I appreciate you. Shout out to you, LG. Shout out to everybody within, the live chat. If you came here late, remember when I get off, you'll be able to, rewind and go all the way back once it's back on the channel and you can watch it from the beginning. I did drop some jewels here. But again, I'll be updating you guys. I'll be dropping more knowledge. I'll be dropping more videos. Like I said, 1 or 2 videos a week. Because I finally, just started getting adjusted to my new schedule. So other than that, you already know what I'm about to say. Lastly, again, if you want any the services or any readings like that, email me at healing22 at gmail.com. The email's in the description of this video. Ask for the services and prices. I'll give you the whole list. Other than that, I'll leave you in peace. Ashe, namaste, and you know how many loves it is. One love. Peace.